SNS College of Technology, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. This is going to be a session on web application attacks in cybersecurity. So, before we get with the web application attacks, we need to understand what actually is getting around in the web arena. The digital battlefield is evolving rapidly, and as organizations are increasingly dependent on the web applications and the APIs which are evolving around the internet, the cyber criminals are also adopting new tactics to exploit new vulnerabilities and the attacking surfaces. As of the statistics that goes around in 2025, the threat landscape has been very steep, pointing upward directions. The web app and the API attacks as recorded, representing a staggering 33% increase over the year, around 311 billion attacks. And the API attacks alone documented over the last 2 years has highlighted the APIs as an official attacking or an alarming attacking surfaces as 150 billion attacks. The monthly attacks alone, that is an average attacks per application, has been found to be 13,000 attacks. So just imagine the type of the attacks or the vulnerabilities the cyber criminals are evolving every year, and it is increasing alarmingly. The most critical web application attacks or the risk which has been defined by the OWASP, that is Open Web Application Services projects, are being listed here, and the first one being the broken access control. The broken access control found here has been the highest level of vulnerability which leads the unauthorized data access, and it remains the prevalent security flaw. The second being the cryptographic failures, where the root cause of the sensitive data exposure, emphasizing the critical flaws in encryption implementation and the key management, is found. The third is the injection attack, also called as the SQL injection, and cross-site scripting (XSS), and these attacks remain widespread despite the years of awareness being created through various means, as the data are being highly structured using the data management systems. The last one being the emerging categories. The new threats like insecure design and software or data integrity failures highlights the evolving cybersecurity labs or landscape. There have been emerging threats which are AI-powered attacks and API exploits. Includes AI enhanced attack automation, where the cyber criminals leverage the artificial intelligence to automate the kill chains which generate the sophisticated malware variants which can never be identified by any individuals oversighted. And this developed advanced evasion techniques bypass every traditional security mechanisms that has been included in any of the web applications which has been developed and hosted over the internet. The second is the API vulnerability crisis, where API security breaches which cost around $87 billion every year, with projections exceeding $100 billion by 2026 as digital transformation is being accelerated. The third is the hidden attack vectors, which shadows and zombie APIs create, which concealed vulnerabilities in complex microservices environments, often known as to be the unknown visions or unknown or unseen things to security teams. The last one is the advanced credential attacks. And AI-driven credential stuffing and sophisticated business logic attacks, which specifically target the API endpoints, and it is again highly prevalent in the web applications. The data breaches and financial losses which has been caused by the attackers over the web applications includes around 88% being the credential based breaches and around 12% as the cost increases every year, estimated to be an 12% financial loss every year. The credential-based breaches involves stolen credentials, highlighting the critical authentication weakness points, which has been the high level of a vulnerability point for the attackers. Compliance complexities and third-party vulnerabilities continues to exacerbate the organizational risk profiles, and the rising presence of ransomware in data breaches, often triggered by the initial web application vulnerabilities, creates a cascading security incidents with devastating business impact. So a heavy loss has been occurred because of the web application attacks. The next is something that we have to take into consideration when there are attackers. We need to provide some defense mechanism and some awareness among the users and the organizations who are using the web applications. Coming to the defense mechanisms or strategies which the modern applications requires to be adopted includes multi-factor authentication, unified security platforms, AI/ML detection systems, and a continuous security testing. So Google case study demonstrates that the multi-factor authentication reduces the phishing success. The consolidated security solutions integrates the applications protection at detection and threat intelligence for comprehensive coverage is done. The AI/ML detection systems with advanced machine learning algorithms identify these anomalies and significantly reduce the threat. The continuous security testing, which is an ongoing assessment, secure design principles and comprehensive threat modeling forms these foundations of the modern design. Apart from this, the best practices each of the developers and the security teams which has been involving in themselves in the application development should consider the OWASP foundations, the top 10 secure mechanisms, that is securing the coding practices, and the input validations with the rigorous validating and sanitizing of all the user inputs has to be done to prevent any injection attacks or the XSS vulnerabilities. The data encryptions which encrypt the sensitive data both in the transit and at rest, as well as the active monitoring which implements comprehensive log monitoring and maintaining the robust incident response plans. Thank you.